before the marshal can go into his next adventure as required by the rules, he has to go ahead and level up. He has 15 points more than needed after that town adventure, getting those 10 extra experience points. So the first thing to do is to roll on his upgrade bonus chart. So 2d6, and let's see what he gets. A 9. Plus 1 side bag token capacity, and also gain d6 health and sanity any mix. For this one we're going to change over to a red dice because, well, the red dice always does so well against us. So please, a 4. Alright, we can do 4 sanity and or health. So he is currently sitting at 11 each. Ooh, do I go up 2 each? Yep, I think I will go up 2 each, so he'll be at 13 each. For the Marshal's last upgrade, he took Focus. But, you know, I was thinking I wanted to get down to Hunter and Dead or Alive, but I think I'm going to actually jump over to the Traveler side, and he gains an extra movement for each turn equal to his lore, and he gets +1 lore. And I've been rolling so bad, and he has been getting so far behind the Saloon Girl. I think that's the direction that we need to go for him as he moves up to level 3. To recap, he got 2 extra health, 2 extra sanity, he's getting +1 lore, and he gets an extra side bag token capacity, so he's up to 6 for his side bag. For this mission, it starts in the mines, of course. And I have shuffled in extra darkness cards, growing dread cards, and some mine encounters from some of the supplements. And there are multiple extra monsters in the deck. And then when we get to the swamps, the Serpentmen will show up. So starting with that, of course, the Saloon Girl gets to go first. And she rolls a 5 +1 for her agility. Gives her 6, and she can actually get 5 experience and look through the door. And let's draw a map tile. It is a switch curve with the rail switch encounter. So what I did, because I have a bunch of extra encounters now mixed in, I'm going to do the advanced encounters, but I'm not going to do it the way that the rules read. It seems, I don't know. I'm trying to just stick with the feel of each of the map tiles. So I'm going to do the advanced encounters, and if an encounter calls for 2, then I'll add an extra one. But I'm not going to do 2 just because I'm doing the one that is more thematic. So let me get that tile. So let me draw well, I'm pretty sure I shuffled these over after the last adventure, but we'll do it again. Alright, so the sheriff, as usual, is far behind. Let's see if he can catch up at all. Oh, so 5. So he has his traveling boots, which gives him +1 move. He also gets, with his new bonus, additional move up to his lore. So it would seem to me that he, with a lore of 2, he actually has +3 move. So he's only going to go 6. He can't scavenge because he's on a tile with an exploration token, but at least he has stayed up with the Saloon Girl. And then this encounter requires the rail switch. So we have found the rail switch tile, but let's see what the exploration token says. It's an attack and a clue. And because we found that clue, we have already found the gate to Jargono. So this is actually looking better. Of course, what is the very first thing I did? I forgot to hold back the darkness. So for the first turn, let's hold back the darkness. Oh, okay. That means, let's put that back over. Let's go back. I held back the darkness. because that is an ambush attack. Right off the bat, I screwed everything up. So, there are fiendish creatures and demons in the dark places of the world. Ambush attack. Draw a threat card and immediately ambush the heroes. So, a threat card, 2 heroes, P tentacles. You know, I put a bunch of other things in there and I'm still getting the tentacles. So, P tentacles, 4 tentacles. So tentacles, just for a recap, of course, I've got to first roll for what is on their elite chart because this is now a level 3 group. So 2. So tentacles move through other models and change targets each turn. Okay, well that's not too bad. There's still a 4+ to hit, 3 combat that do 3 damage each, 2 defense with 4 health. And of course, anything a 6+ on their to hit roll ignores the hero's defense. So it's an ambush attack which takes them to a 3 initiative, but that is still not enough to get past our Saloon Girl and our Sheriff. So the Saloon Girl is first, and she still has 2 hits. I haven't bothered getting her anything better than the axe because, well, that gives her the damage and a reroll. So Saloon Girl attacks first. She's going to reroll that 1. She gets another 1. So 1 hit, she will put it on the one right behind her. So for her damage, 1 damage plus 1 for her dirty fighting and 1 for her axe. Gets 1 wound to this tentacle. Now the Sheriff actually gets to go. Does he use his shotgun or does he use his hunting knife? Because his melee attacks is up to 4, I think we're going to use the hunting knife. And he can reroll 1 of his melee to hits. So, well, he gets 1 critical and 1 hit, and that's it. So he is going to put his regular to hit on the same one that Saloon Girl had. 4 minus its 2, and he has nothing that helps him. Oh, so up to 3 wounds there. Well, that'll help for next round. And then with his critical hit, I think he's going to do the one right behind him. Oh, he's going to use a grit. He had 2 grit after his trip to town. 5, which is enough to kill it, which gives him 30 plus an extra 10, gives him 40 experience. Now it's the tentacle's turn. So he killed 1 that was attacking him, so we've got 2 attacking the Saloon Girl and 1 attacking the Sheriff. So white dice are attacking the Saloon Girl and the red dice are attacking the Marshal, who I continue to call a Sheriff. Alright, oh, there's 1 6 on the Sheriff, which ignores all of his defense. But I did forget that their auras give them a spirit armor and a regular armor of 6. So it ignores defense, but would it ignore those armors? I think it would probably still... Would it still do the auras? That's an interesting... It says defense, not armor, so I think it would... He would still get his armor rolls against it. So he's got 3 that he needs to roll an armor roll of a 6+. It's not going to matter, but so he still takes 3 damage. Saloon Girl took 3 hits. They're just regular hits, so just regular defense. She saves them all. So after all that, Marshall took 3 wounds. That is the end of the first turn. Now we need to hold back the darkness again. And one of the rules is that everything is +1 on this adventure, so that does not hold back the darkness. So the Saloon Girl attacks. She can reroll 1. She's going to put it on this. She will automatically kill it because she's going to do at least 1 damage, even on a roll of a 1. So she gets her 30 experience, and she's going to use her holdout pistol at this point, and she misses with that. So our U.S. Marshal gets to go. He's going to re-roll 1, and he missed with that one, so he has 1 critical hit is all he got out of all of that. 4, which is enough to kill another one. Heals 1 of his wounds. He gives him 40 experience. And now they get to switch every turn, so 1, 2, 3, Saloon Girl, 4, 5, 6, Marshal. It's attacking the Marshal. 2 hits, right? Marshal defends. And he defends 1. Now his 6+ spirit armor, his armor. And he still fails. So he takes 1 wound. But I forgot her comforting presence last turn, so that actually, so he's at 2 wounds. And all is square. And now we have to fail to hold back the darkness. Oh no, we actually do hold back the darkness. Good deal. Alright, Saloon Girl gets to attack. And she misses, but she gets her axe. She still misses. Marshal gets to attack. 2 hits, gets to reroll 1. Still just 2 hits. He'll put them on the 1 tentacle. And they each do 1 point of damage. Which means that tentacle is still around and gets to attack. It gets to switch. 1, 2, 3, Saloon Girl. 4, 5, 6, the Marshal. Attacks the Marshal. 3 attacks. Ooh! So that would be 6. Now the Marshal did heal 1 wound last turn for this turn that just happened for comforting presence. But that is 6. So let's see if this aura with this defensive 6 helps him. It does not. He takes 6 more damage. He is not doing well already. Alright, end of turn. Comforting presence. So he's down to just 6 wounds. And see if we can hold back the darkness. We cannot. Which means a darkness card. All void enemies are +1 combat. Remains in play. Alright, Saloon Girl. She gets to roll another 6 critical hit. Well, that's so a total of 8 damage. She kills that one for a total of 30 experience. Her comforting presence heals a wound for the sheriff at the end of this turn, giving her 5 experience. So now they get to take a breath. Saloon Girl took no damage, so nothing to do for her. The sheriff, does he take a grit or does... I think he's going to take the grit and keep the 5 wounds. So he's back up to 2 grit. Now they each get a loot card. Let's see if they can get anything decent for their loot. Saloon Girl gets 1 Darkstone and 30 experience. And our Marshal gets D6 times 50 gold. 1. So he gets 50 gold and 20 experience. So a Darkstone for the Saloon Girl plus 30 experience. And 20 experience and 50 gold for our sheriff. Alright. And now, since we had already made those rolls, we will go right back to where we were. So we're not going to re-roll. Apologies for the flub up with the camera. So basically all that's happened is, as we saw before I fixed the last mistake, we flipped an exploration token. The exploration token showed that there was an attack and a clue icon. The clue icon means that there is an actual gate to Jargona, which is good because we only have to go through the one room. I am moving the depth track up one. I drew the threat card, which are Hellbats, and we need to do P4 Hellbats. So let's see how many Hellbats we have. We have 6 Hellbats. That kind of stinks. And then we have the rail switch. And the rail switch is do a strength 4 test, and if you're successful, you get 25 experience points. Then you roll a d6, and on a 1 or a 2, bad things happen. 4, 5, or 6, you get to actually ignore an exploration token. Or I could just ignore it and move on, but I would really like to be able to ignore an exploration token. So the Marshal, who has a strength of 3, is going to roll and hopefully get this. And he does. He gets a 5, so he passes. Now we have to see if bad things happen. Of course. So, on a roll of a 1 or 2, the ceiling collapses under the pressure of the force used to pull the switch, and each hero takes d6 hits. So red for the Marshal and white for the Saloon Girl. Ooh, so 5 hits on the Marshal, so we'll do him first, and 4 on the Saloon Girl. So 1, but he gets his armor, and nothing helps. So he takes a wound. Saloon Girl, with her armor, she takes a wound as well. So they each take 1 wound because I got greedy. Marshal is up to 6 wounds, Saloon Girl has 1 wound. And now the Hellbats, I didn't roll for the doors because it really doesn't matter. The Hellbats have a move of 12 and they get to go first, so there is nowhere on the map that they are not going to be right in front of them and attacking them first turn. So even if I put them here as far away as possible, they easily make it. And I need to pull 2 more out. So Hellbats, they have flight, so they can move through models. For every combat hit done by a Hellbat, the hero also takes a horror hit. And we have to roll an elite ability. So elite ability number 3, which is +2 defense. So that takes their defense to 4 with a health of 1. So they're really like The Walking Dead. They have 3 combat, they hit on 3s. So the Hellbats, and I just have to remember that they have Shadow Wings, which is a defense of 2. They have an initiative of 6, which means they get to go first, but first thing is we have to hold back the darkness. And of course we don't. So 1 Hellbat will attack our Marshal, and 1 Hellbat will attack our Saloon Girl. 3 attacks each. Red is on the Marshal, white is on the Saloon Girl. So 2 hits each. So let's start with the damage hits first, 2 each, and they save them both. And now the horror hits. It says that every hit done, not actual damage, so. Alright, but we have, so that's 1 horror hit each, but they do have the +6 spirit armor from their amulets, and nope, they each take a horror hit, so 1 sanity each. And now the Saloon Girl gets to go. She will attack. She'll re-roll. So 1 hit, she'll do it on the one in front of her. So she kills one. They have 1 health. With her, even with the 4 defense, she has the +2, takes her up to an 8. She gets to kill one. Just 10 experience is all she gets for that, though. And now the sheriff gets to go. I shouldn't have done that. I should have used a shotgun. But anyway, so he can only get to 1 with a melee attack. And so he kills it. He gets to heal a wound. And he gets 20 experience because of his extra 10 he gets. And that is the end of the turn. Hold back the darkness or fail to do so. Nope, we actually do it. An 8. Okay, they get to move forward again. And we are back to the 3 attacks each for the Hellbats. Once again, they do 2 hits each, so defense on the hits. Ooh. So now we'll do our +6 armors. Nothing. So he takes 2, she takes 1. I forgot her comforting presence last turn, of course. She takes 1 wound, she's up to 2. So he is actually at 6 because of the comforting presence last turn. And now the horror hits. 2 horror hits each. They each save 1. They're +6 for their protection. Nothing. They each take a horror hit. And he should have saved a sanity last turn as well when he killed that one. Alright, so Saloon Girl, she will attack. She misses with both, rolls again, and she misses completely. Well, this time, because there are 2 there, he'll go ahead and roll all 4 dice. Wow. We stink. Alright. So he gets 1 hit. And he cannot kill... Well, yeah, I guess he could. On a 6. So on a 6 he kills 1. Giving him 20 experience. And he heals a wound and a sanity. And then Comforting Presence heals 1 more wound. Which is really her experience. Mine. And then it's back to holding back the darkness. Double 4s. So double 4s is falling rubble. So they each take D6 hits, I believe. D6 hits. So red is the Marshal, white is the Saloon Girl. Wow. 2 for him, 1 for her. Let's see if they can defend. He defends both. She will do her 6+ armor. Nope. So Saloon Girl takes another wound. And the Hellbats get to attack. We are back to 3 attacks on each. Red is the Marshal, white's the Saloon Girl. Marshal takes 1, Saloon Girl takes 2. Defend against the attacks. They defend them all. Now the horror hits. He defends both, shockingly. She has a 6+ chance. Nope. So she takes another horror hit. So she's got 3 sanity at this point. Now the Saloon Girl will attack. She's got 1 hit. She gets to reroll with her axe. Still just has 1 hit for 6 damage plus her 2 extra damage. Gives her 8. She kills 1. Gives her 10 experience. Comforting Presence last turn. I forgot again. So, and now the U.S. Marshal will go. He's going to use his shotgun this time. It's a 5 for 8 damage, killing 1. which gives him 20 experience, but, and also heals a wound. He doesn't have any sanity damage at this point, but allows him to go again because it's a shotgun. Gets a critical hit, which means he kills that one. So all 6 are dead. He heals another wound. He gets some more experience. And now they get to catch their breath. So Saloon Girl will heal 3. She's going to do 2 sanity and a wound because she has bandages and only 1 tonic. The U.S. Marshal gets 3. And now they each get a loot card. Hopefully they can make it to this door without any major issues. So she gets a gear card and 20 experience. And he gets 25 gold and 30 experience. So at this point he needs a lot of experience to catch up with her. Now what gear card does she get? Let's see. An eagle feather. +1 agility, +2 health, traveler, or frontier only. So she can't use it, but she'll stick it in her bag and she can sell it later. So now, time to hold back the darkness. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, they do manage to. So, Saloon Girl rolls. She gets a grit, but she only gets to move 2. Now the sheriff, well, she's going to scavenge since she didn't get to move very far, and she gets nothing. U.S. Marshal, 6 plus his 3 is 9. He is going to... this is dangerous, but... Nope, he's not... Does he go ahead and look and get it started? Well, she can't make it next turn unless she rolls a 6, so he's going to wait right there, and he's going to scavenge. And he gets something. So, knowing his luck, it'll be bad. Oh, a small find. He gets 25 gold and 10 experience. And now, time to attempt to hold back the darkness. And they don't, which means another darkness card. Strength of the Void. All void enemies are now +1 defense remains in play. So that can go along with their +1 combat. It could have been worse. Alright, Saloon Girl gets to move. Really? So she's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And this one's already been scavenged, so she can't scavenge, so I guess the marshal's going to go ahead and look through. Take his 5 experience. Let me set up the deck, and he is looking into the swamps. So I set up the Jargono cards. I threw in some swamp slugs and other Jargono specific monsters. So that deck and all the other decks and the maps are all put in now. So time to actually draw a map card and see where we start. Oh, great. A long passage, no exploration token. So let me get that put together. Well, that makes life pretty simple to start off with. At least I know there's no exploration token or anything crazy going on there. But now that we're moving into Jargono, the ritual sacrifice rule is in effect. I actually screwed up. I should have had that in effect the whole time, but anytime the darkness moves one or more spaces on the depth track, roll a d6, add them together, and if the total is less than the new position, then the sacrifice is completed. However, with a 1 or a 2, you can't actually have it done. So very unlikely that I really screwed it up, but just in case, let's see if the game is already over. So when it moved to 3, no. When it moved to 4, no. So we're still good. So now we are going to go ahead and roll to hold back the darkness. And of course we don't again. Now let's roll and see if it is a 5 or less. The game is over. Ooh, I thought for quite a second that it was. Alright, so Saloon Girl is moving forward. She can move 6 now. 1, 2, 3, which is the same as here. Okay, wait, 1, yeah. 4, 5, 6. She's going to scavenge. Doesn't get anything. Our marshal can move a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to go ahead and peek through the next door. He probably shouldn't, but he's going to anyway. And we get a cross passage with no exploration token. Not the most helpful. So that's the end of this turn. We'll go ahead and hold back the darkness again, or attempt to. A 10, we actually do it. So let me move this forward. So we went into this and then this. So now Saloon Girl can move 3. 1, 2, 3. She's going to scavenge that back room again. And she actually finds something. And she finds nothing here. 10 experience points. And then no exploration tokens, so Marshall moves basically to wherever he wants. He's going to move here. He's going to peek through the door. Again, probably not the wisest thing to do. But he will draw his map card. A murky clearing. So at least this time we have a chance to do something. Get an exploration token. That is the end of the turn, so we will flip that exploration token. We actually have a clue and 2 encounters. For the human sacrifice mission, when the first clue is discovered in the swamps of Jargono, the heroes have found the location of the poor townsfolk girl and the tribal ritual. Wow, this was quick. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Also ignore any door or gate icons on the token, as the objective room has no exits. Reveal all growing dread cards. We haven't actually gotten one yet. And then the heroes must face the Serpentmen Grand Shaman Epic Threat card. The Serpent Grand Shaman Epic Threat card is the Grand Shaman and another threat card. So we will pull another threat card. So as I shuffle up these low threat cards, there are some really strange things in here that were still left over from the mines, like bandits, etc. So we'll just have to figure out a good storyline for why it might have happened. pulling out one threat card, we get P3 Hungry Dead. Okay, that makes actual sense, and a corpse pile. So, one peril dice worth of Hungry Dead. We've got 4 Hungry Dead, a Grand Shaman, and a corpse pile. So I went ahead and set everything up based on their initiative level. I'm using just the regular Shaman model instead of the Grand Shaman model. I like it better, though I do have the Grand Shaman model, but doesn't matter. The Grand Shaman is just like a Serpent Shaman, but he has mastery of his spells. Now, because we are level 3, everybody gets an elite ability, so we'll start out with that. So the corpse pile is a 3, which means that it gets regeneration, heals 2 wounds at the start of each turn. So let me mark that so I remember it. Now the Hungry Dead are a 4, so Relentless. They are now Escape 5+. Okay, well. And here's the really critical one, the Shaman. Now the Shaman is already Initiative 7, is a 4+ to hit, can move 10, does 3 combat with 4 damage each, a defense of 3 with a health of 18, however a Grand Shaman. So I will go ahead and just do the epic threat. The Grand Shaman also has 12+, so he actually has 30 health. And he has number 3, which is melee and ranged hits are now 3+. Oh, great. I don't think we're going to do so well in this. Scavenge doesn't matter anymore. Alright, so we flipped that over. It is time to hold back the darkness. A 7. We do not. Oops, sorry, this went one forward. Which means this moves once. Now we have a Growing Dread card. And we have to roll 3 to see if the young girl is sacrificed. She is not. The darkness ahead creeps its way into your mind and your soul. The darkness moves 1 step forward on the depth track. If this moves into a blood splatter or a Growing Dread space, every hero also takes a corruption hit. Well, it doesn't. Okay, I just checked the rules, and that means we do have to roll again to see if the ritual is stopped. It is not stopped, or it does not finish. So the Shaman is actually first, and so he has to target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's targeting the Marshal, and at the start of his activation, while not adjacent to a hero, roll a d6 on a 1 to 2. He targets a random hero and moves to attack them on a 3, 4, 5, or 6. He just casts a random spell from the Serpent's Magic deck. And what I forgot to do is draw his... they actually have his trinkets, his Juju trinkets. So we draw a random one at the start. Put the magic cards away. So he gets a random trinket. And so he gets a tribal voodoo doll. At the start of each turn, select a random hero. That hero is reduced to defense and willpower 5+ until the end of the turn. Egad. So that is bad for us. So let's do this for the start of this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, it's the Marshal who he's already attacking. So on a 1 or a 2, he goes into attack. 3 or 4, he casts a spell. So he casts a spell. He casts Hexbolt. The Shaman targets a random hero in line of sight. I guess I should have picked afterwards. Unleashes a Hexbolt at them. They take a number of hex hits equal to their current luck skill. They do D6 wounds each, but use willpower to prevent rather than defense. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, since it's now a random. Though he can't see her, so really it probably needs to be the marshal regardless. So, oh, it's a random hero in line of sight. So that hero immediately takes a number of hex hits equal to his luck. His luck is, I don't think he has a very good luck. Let me get all these other things. His luck is 3, so he takes equal to their current luck skill. These hex hits do D6 wounds. So first, let's see. So they do D6 wounds each, but they use willpower to prevent rather than defense. So let's try and defend them. So the 3 hits. And because he misses all of them, so that would be 9 hits. Or, I mean, sorry. 3 hits that do D6 wounds each. So he does a total of 9 wounds. But he does have his 6+ save. Which he doesn't save any, so he takes 9 wounds right off the bat. Which really, really stinks. Okay, goes back into his pile of magic. And now it is Saloon Girl's turn. Roll to move. 6, so she can move. She's going to move here. And she's just going to use her holdout pistol on the Shaman. Gets a critical hit for 2, 3 damage. So we're going to do 3 damage there. Actually, we'll just use... Yes, 3 damage. And she gets 10, 15, 25 experience for that. Plus an extra 5 because he has an elite ability. Now the Marshal is going to stay right where he is. He's going to attack with his shotgun. And he misses. I think he's going to hang on to his grit. Alright, so now it is the Hungry Dead's turn. They have a move of 2. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They can't do anything. And then the corpse pile rolls to see if he makes another one. And he does not. So now time to hold back the darkness. We do not. So let's see. We get a darkness card. We need to roll and see if the girl she is not killed. Savage attack. During the next fight, all enemies are -1 defense but gain 2+ combat shots for their attack. If drawn during a fight, this goes into effect immediately. So they're -1 defense but +2 attack. Sorry about that, but my memory card was full, so I went and deleted some stuff. I think where we were was we had rolled back the darkness, and we were about to roll for the random voodoo doll issue of reducing defense and willpower to 5+. So on a 1, 2, 3, it's the Saloon Girl. On a 4, 5, 6, it's the Marshal. And it's the Marshal, of course. Now the Marshal did heal 1 wound at the end of the last turn because of the Comforting Presence, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Alright, so start of the turn starts with the Shaman, who at the start of his activation, he is not adjacent to a hero, so he rolls to see what he does, and he attacks a spell with a random person. 1, 2, 3 is the Saloon Girl, 4, 5, 6 is our Marshal. And so he attacks the Saloon Girl, and he does a random spell. Alright, so the Saloon Girl, it's the Hex Bolt again. Alright, so he targets a random hero in line of sight. And so the Saloon Girl and does D6 wounds, and I forgot, Mastery, so double the current luck. Her luck, unfortunately, is 4. So she will likely die from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so she saves 2 of them. And so these all do D6 wounds. 5, 9, 14, 15, 16 wounds. Alright, so 2 rounds with 6 to see if we can save any. Alright, so she saved 3. So that's 3 she saved. Five. So she ends up taking 11 wounds, which brings her down to 11 wounds. It's 13. She has 2 wounds left. Alright, so it's actually her turn. And she's going to use a bandage to heal 2 wounds. And then she's going to move. She gets a grit. Her max grit is 3, so she can take this grit. And she's actually going to move and attack this you know what? She's going to move to here. Oh no, she can't. She can only move 2. So she'll move here. She'll attack this dead. Reroll 1, so she gets 1 hit. She does 3, 4, 5. -1 defense, so their defense is actually 4. I'm sorry, their defense is actually 3, so she actually kills this one, which is good. She gets 10 whopping experience points, but that's 1 less thing to fight. Now it is our Marshal's turn. He's going to move. He can move 3, 4, 5, 6. He's actually going to move here. He's going to take his 4 hits and he's going to attack the Shaman, because we've got to get rid of the Shaman. He can re-roll 1. So he's got 2 critical hits and a regular hit. They will all go on the Shaman. The red will be the regular hit. Oh, and he gets to re-roll 1, I forgot. Or did I re-roll 1 already? Okay, so the red will be the regular hit, and the whites will be the critical hits. I'm going to reuse a grit to re-roll these 2. And I really didn't do much better. But he's -1 defense, so his defense is 2. So 1 damage, 5, 6, 7 more damage. So he is up to 10 damage. And that gives, that's 7, 35, 45 experience. I'm not thinking this is going to go real well for us. And then he is going to go ahead and use his Swamp Raptor Claw for 1 free attack. So he's going to do his attack. It's a 3. He's not going to waste his grit on that. Okay, so that is done. Well, now it is the Hungry Dead's turn. So on a 1, 2, or 3, this one will attack. 1, 2, or 3, it's the Saloon Girl. No, so he's going to attack the Marshal, which means this one would go next and attack the Saloon Girl, which means she would attack the Marshal. Alright, so they have 1 combat each, so 2 on the Marshal, 1 on the Saloon Girl, but they get +2 combat, so it's actually going to be 6 on the Marshal and 3 on the Saloon Girl. And so they are a 4+, so the Marshal has 5, Saloon Girl has 2. Saloon Girl was not next to 1, he was next to 2, so at the start of his activation, so he does need to do 2 horror hits, so let's try his willpower saves. He doesn't get them, but he has his aura, which doesn't help him either. So he takes 2 sanity. Alright, so his saves, he saves them all. Her saves, she doesn't save either. And she doesn't save either. So she is now back to 13 wounds. And that means it is now the start of the... Oh, and the corpse pile does not create a new one. Hold back the darkness. We do. Barely. Now the shaman's turn. Okay. He is adjacent to a hero, so he takes a free move along the shortest distance to no longer be adjacent. So I guess he comes here. Then he rolls to see what he does. A 3 means he does a spell. So see if we can do something different than a Hex Bolt. Oh, and then we'll have to do the Voodoo Doll. Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, the Marshal, 4, 5, 6, the Saloon Girl. Alright, it's the Marshal. And it is Ghost Bite. The Shaman targets a random hero and sends forth an astral serpent to strike at them. The hero must pass a Spirit 6 test or take 2d6 wounds, ignoring defense. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, it's the Marshal. 4, 5, 6, it's the Saloon Girl. It's the Saloon Girl. She has to do a Spirit 6 test. Her Spirit is 3. And she passes. Alright, so his mastery doesn't matter because she passed. Now it is the Saloon Girl's turn. She is going to roll to move. 6. She is not going to bother moving. She's going to attack. Reroll. She does 1. That's 4, 5, 6 with her extra there, minus 1. So that is enough to kill another one, which gives her 10 experience. Now, the marshal moves. He can move. He is going to not go anywhere. He's just going to get to where he can attack the shaman again. He's going to use his 4 melee attacks. Oof. He can reroll 1. Should he use his last grit to reroll those? Nope, he's going to reroll 1. So he's got 1 hit and 1 critical. Red is the regular hit. White is the critical. So he does 6. The shaman's defense is 2, so 3 more. So he does 6, 7, 8, 9 more damage to the shaman. Which gives him another 55 experience. I forgot, plus his 5 because of the elite ability. And his elite ability has not mattered yet, and neither has the corpse piles. The Hungry Dead's elite ability, I forgot, is +1 defense, but that hasn't made a difference yet. Hungry Dead, 1 is attacking her, 1's attacking her. I mean him. But they do get the +2, so they're 3. Red are the marshal, white are the saloon girl. So they 1 hit on the saloon girl, 3 hits on the marshal. So the marshal saves them all. The saloon girl saves hers, even with the +5. Horror hits. He had 3 adjacent to him. She had 2. So he's got 3 saves to make. He saves 2 of them. He has 6+. Nope. So he takes a sanity. Saloon Girl saves hers. So he takes 1 sanity damage. And we are back up. And then it's up to the corpse pile. And he does create another one. Dag nabbit. Now it's time to try and hold back the darkness. And we do. Now the shaman, he runs away again. Now, who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the voodoo doll. It's the saloon girl again. Now the shaman, what is he going to do? Oh, he does a random spell. Okay. I hope it's not that hex bolt. I do not like that hex bolt. Hex bolt. Alright, 1, 2, 3, it is the marshal. 4, 5, 6, it's the saloon girl. Ooh, it's the saloon girl. Okay. So he does D hex hits. And she is the one, he does 6 of them. I think she's going to die. Well, she saves 3 of them right off the bat. Now they do D6 wounds. Oof. 10 wounds. Alright, 10 wounds. Can she save enough? Well, she saved 4, but that is not enough to save her, so she dies. But we do have a revive token, so she's going to pop right back up. And now it is her turn. So let me look one thing up. So it is the saloon girl's turn. She's going to roll to move. Ooh. Well, that doesn't help. She just gets an extra move because she's already at her max grit. So she's going to go there. She's going to attack the corpse, or, well, she'll attack, maybe not do much, reroll. Alright, so 5 with her axe. She's going to put it on this one. 4, 5, 6, defense of 4, health of 1, she kills it. 10 experience. Now our marshal gets to move. He can move 5. Now he needs to try to escape. He cannot escape. Oh, you know, I'm just going to kill the one guy because the other guy can't reach us. So if I kill this guy, we at least don't get any hits, so we're going to melee him. And we've got a critical which would automatically kill him, and I can't do anything else. So he gets 20 experience. And he gets to heal a wound. And that's all he gets. It is now Hungry Dead's turn. 1, 2. Corpse pile. And I think it is on a 4+. Yes, they get a new Hungry Dead. And now it is time to hold back the darkness. We do not. Nothing big, but we could lose our person. But we do not. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14. That is less than 9. Okay, Shaman's turn. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the voodoo doll. It is on the marshal. Okay. Now we got to do, what is the shaman going to do? He is going to do a random spell. Hexmolt must be in here more than once. Okay, let's see. Golly, Hexbolt again. 1, 2, 3 Marshal, 4, 5, 6 Saloon Girl. It's the Marshal, of course. So he does 1, 2, 3. Well, he saves all but 1, which does how many hits, or how many wounds? 4 wounds. He gets his armor. So he takes 3 wounds. Well, not horrible. With her comforting presence last turn, he still is alive and has, well, he's got a few wounds left to go. He's only at 9. Alright, Saloon Girl's turn. She's going to move. 1, 5, 6. She's going to attack the shaman. Gets to re-roll 1 of them. So she's got 2 hits for 6. That's a 6 and that's an 8 because of her extras. His defense is 2 because of the -1. So basically that's 10 more wounds. So he is up to 25, 26, 27, 28. He's at 29 wounds. They need 1 more wound to kill the shaman. Oh, that would be nice. So she did 10 more wounds, so that's 50, 60 more experience for her, plus her 5 for the elite ability, which I keep forgetting to do. And he has not gone into melee, or so has not done anything yet. Alright, now it's the marshal's turn. He moves 6, he's going to come here. He is going to attack. He's going to use his melee attack. Reroll 1. So 2 hits. 6 and a 3. That is enough to kill, take away his 1 hit point. So he gets a whopping 15, 20, 25, 30 experience because of his extra 10 he gets. He gets to heal a wound and a sanity because he killed something, which I think I forgot to do. And now we still have to do the Hungry Dead. So the Hungry Dead, 1, 2, 3, they go after the Saloon Girl. 4, 5, 6 after the Marshal. Saloon Girl. He is +2 attacks still. Oh, and that means he's going for the Marshal. Oh, and he makes it. So redder on the Marshal, whiter on the Saloon Girl. Ooh, 3 hits on the Marshal, 1 on the Saloon Girl. Marshal has got 5+ saves this round still. So he saves 1, she saves hers. He has his 6+ armor, which has not done much of anything. Nope, so he still takes 2 hits. They did not start this turn next to any of them, I think. No, they didn't last turn either. I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 sanity hits each just to be on the safe side. No, they both moved, so they couldn't have had any horror hits. And they both have almost no sanity damage anyway, so. Alright. So now the corpse pile. Can the corpse pile... Ah, it makes another one. At least he can't make a shaman. Alright. Hold back the darkness. We do not. It's another darkness card. Darkness card. Edge of Forever. The portals seem to lead to 1,000 different worlds across the vastness of time and space. All unexplored doorways immediately become gates. Well, there are no doorways, so that is not a problem. Roll for the ritual. Is it equal to or just less than? Okay, so it's if the total is less than the new position. So we have a 10, which is the new position, so we are good. This really sucks. I don't know that I can hold out much longer. I'm going to hate to lose even after I beat the Shaman. Alright, so Saloon Girl rolls to move. Doesn't matter, but she's going to move. I mean, she can move. It's 5. Oh, she can get to here. She's going to attack. She's going to use one of her grit to re-roll those 2 instead of doing the additional, the re-roll. Alright, so she gets a hit and a critical. She's going to do the critical on this one and the hit on that one. Well, the critical automatically kills it. And I don't know why I moved her instead of it. And now the non-critical on him is a 4, plus her 2 is a 6, minus his 4 defense kills him. So that is 20 experience. Now it is the Marshal's turn. So he is going to move here. And he is going to attack with his 4 melee attacks. With his 1 reroll. Still nothing. Corpse Pile has a defensive 2, but because of this card, it has a defensive 1. So we're going to go ahead and just do the first one on the Corpse Pile. Unbelievable. I'm going to use my grit to re-roll that. A 5. So the Corpse Pile is dead before it can make any more corpses. He's going to do his other 2 hits on that guy. And that's enough to kill him. He heals 2 wounds because of those 2. He gets... Oh, I'm sorry. The Corpse Pile I was not thinking. I was thinking the corpse pile had 1. So I did 5 damage on the corpse pile. I messed up. So I would have used a second dice on the corpse pile, which would have then killed the corpse pile, and then I would have used the third dice, which would have killed this one. So I'm still okay. It's a little bit off. I hate to end that way, but that is what I would have done if I hadn't screwed up the amount of health on the corpse pile. So, our heroes, despite my flub up at the end, actually did win. Wow. They saved the girl. And so what happens with the girl? Each hero gets 25 experience, woohoo, and $200 and a gear card as thanks. So the gear card that they get, so the Saloon Girl gets an executioner's pistol that she can't use because it's not light, but she might be able to sell it like that eagle feather. And the marshal gets an old map. Once per turn you may cancel and redraw an encounter or map card just drawn. After each use, discard the old map on a d6 of 1 or 2. Okay. And they each get 25 experience. And they each get 200 gold. So it's finished. And the young girl is going home. They're taking her. But they hear some weird drumming in the distance and the sounds of battle. And they don't know whether they should come back and check that out and see what's going on, or whether they should just move on and not come back to this horrible place. So on a 1, 2, or 3, they will move on to the next swamp's mission, or 4, 5, or 6, they will go completely random and head back to town. They're going on to the next swamp's mission. So they're going to go back to town, they're going to take the young girl back to her family, they're getting their rewards, and then they will come back and check out what all this sounds of battle and drumming are. Well, I apologize for the couple major mistakes in there right at the end, but it wouldn't have changed, and that's honestly how I would have played it, and I didn't change any dice rolls or anything. So basically, the Saloon Girl and the Marshal are going to go back to town, heal up a little bit, and then they're going to come see what is going on. And in the next episode, they will visit the warring tribes. So after they're in town, they'll be back. While exploring the swamps of Jargono, they find themselves in the middle of a territorial dispute between 2 rival tribes of vicious Serpentmen. Gnarled and gruesome totems hang from the trees, and the swamps run red with the aftermath of brutal battles. Worse yet, the gate you came through seems to have collapsed in on itself, and there's only one way to go now, forward. So that will be the next mission after they go check out the town.